What's up, guys? It's the Sports Blitz here, and we're back with our NFL Week 8 power rankings. Uh, so first off, for Week 7, I was 11-4 in my predictions. That brings me to a total of 64-43 on the season. So pretty solid record. And Week 6, actually, the week before was 13-1. So really, over the last 4 weeks, I'm 24-5. So I'll take that. The games I was wrong about this week was I thought Atlanta was going to beat Seattle. That was wrong. I thought Minnesota was going to beat Detroit. That was wrong. I thought New York was going to beat Pittsburgh. That was very wrong. And then I actually had Tampa beating Baltimore in an upset, and that was also wrong. So 11-4 this week, pretty solid record. I think that's pretty solid. So before we get into the power rankings, though, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We do these power rankings every single week. I want to clarify, the ones you see on the screen right now are last week's rankings, not this week's. We're adjusting it as we go in the video. So make sure you keep that in mind before commenting. We're adjusting it as we go. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So I want to say first, the Panthers are staying at 32. They're the worst team in the NFL right now. Yeah, they're looking pretty bad. They are looking pretty bad. I'm also going to keep the Raiders at 31. They also had a bad loss against the Rams. I mean, it was a 15-20 game, so they didn't get blown out or anything. But still, I mean, Gardner Minshew's back in because Aiden O'Connell got injured. The defense is not amazing, but it's kind of starting to step up a little bit. The offense is just pretty atrocious. So I've got the Raiders there at 31. At 30, I'm actually going to have the Browns skip all the way down to 30. Deshaun Watson is out for the season with a torn Achilles. And then his backup, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, also got hurt. I want to say it was a finger injury, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember for sure, but he's also hurt right now. Nick Chubb is back. He did score a touchdown his first week back. Other than that, didn't really get super involved. Didn't really have a whole lot of production. I do expect that to ramp up a little bit, especially where, they're down to their last quarterbacks. I'm expecting Jameis Winston to be the starter for, the foreseeable future. But yeah, the Browns have been pretty atrocious, so I'm going to keep them at 30. Then I am going to I'm going to keep the Patriots at 29. I know they lost this week. They're really only not going down because I felt like the Browns should be below them. I will say, I do think the Patriots are looking better with Drake May than they were with Brissett. So I do think that offense could get going a little bit. I still think it's a pretty bad team, though. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how Drake May does in the future. But for right now, I think 29 is a pretty accurate spot for them. 27. I'm gonna have the Titans actually. Or this is 28. I'm gonna have the Titans here. They got beat pretty bad by the Bills. It was pretty close at first, but then the Bills kind of just ran away with it. Um, kind of exposed the Titans towards the end there. So I do have them at 28. Still only one win on the season. So, I mean, I think it's pretty fitting, that they're there. 27, I'm kind of torn here. I'm kind of torn between the Jags, Dolphins, and Giants, and honestly, even Saints. I think they're all kind of in the same sort of tier right now. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with the Giants here. I think I'm gonna put the Giants here at 27. I think they're in the worst situation of them all, because the Jags, they're kind of starting to heat up a little bit with Tank Bigsby. Trevor Lawrence is starting to make better throws. Brian Thomas is just going off right now. So the Jags are kind of figuring it out a little bit. And then for the Dolphins, I mean, Tua should be coming back this week. I think that'll make their offense look a lot better. And really, like, you look at their games, the defense really isn't bad either. The defense is the reason they've been in games without Tua. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of a doubt. I think out of them, the Giants are in the worst spot. I mean, Daniel Jones still hasn't thrown a touchdown in MetLife Stadium. I want to say it's been over a year. It's quite a long time. Pretty atrocious there. Um, I don't know what they're going to do with their quarterback situation. I really don't. Their offensive line also got kind of blown up by the Eagles, so yeah, I'm going to keep them at 27. I am going to go ahead and move the Jags all the way up to 26. I could see them moving up even more if they can kind of keep this hot streak going. I don't know that I'd really call it a hot streak because I guess 2 weeks ago was when they got beat really bad by the Bears. But, I mean, they've won 2 out of their last 3 games. So, I mean, they're kind of heating up a little bit. Tank Bigsby's looking good. If they can figure out the ETN situation and really get them, going as a really good duo, I think that offense could be something. They just got to figure it out. So, 25, I've got the Dolphins. I know this is technically up a spot from last week. That's how bad I felt about the Giants this week. And again, I'm giving the Dolphins the benefit of a doubt because Tua should be coming back. And we saw firsthand this season how much worse or how much better that offense is when Tua is under center. When he's not there, that offense doesn't work. So, since he's coming back, I'm putting them at 25. So, 24, I'm going to have the New Orleans Saints. I know only one spot down doesn't feel right for them. I feel like being on a 5-game losing streak, they should be lower. I just didn't really know. I mean, maybe you could argue below the Dolphins and Jags, but it's close enough there that it's kind of hard to order them right there. So, Saints are in a tough spot. Defense did not look great against the Broncos on Thursday Night Football. Javonte Williams went off against them. Spencer Rattler didn't look great. Rashid Shaheed's out for the season. Olave was out for that game with a concussion. I believe he should be back this week, so that'll help him out a little bit. Kamara seems to have slowed down a little bit the last couple weeks. yeah, just rough situation for the Saints. So, and then I'm going to actually have at 23, I'm going to have the Chargers. Um, it was a tough fight with the Cardinals. It came down to a game-winning field goal by the Cardinals. But ultimately it was a loss for the Chargers. I believe they're 3-3 now. And I think it's kind of one of those situations that not all wins are created equal. I mean, they had a very early, very easy win against the Panthers. And other than that, they haven't really looked like that great of a team. J.K. Dobbins has really, really slowed down. Hasn't really been all that great lately. So, yeah, tough situation for the Chargers. 22. Let's see. Do I want to have the Rams at 22? I'm kind of thinking the Rams are better than the Colts right now. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Let me see. You know what? I'm going to do something a little crazy here. A lot of people probably won't agree with it, but I'm going to do it. At 22, I'm going to have the Jets. I'm going to have the Jets here at 22. They haven't been anything like I expected them to be this season. They got absolutely blown out by the Steelers the other night. Rodgers really didn't look amazing. He couldn't really connect with Davante Adams the way we were all expecting. Breece Hall did have a good game. He was really about the only one there that did have a really good game. Yeah, Jets are just struggling. Even their defense is looking bad now. I mean, allowing 37 points to the Steelers, that's just it's just crazy. So, yeah, Jets all the way down at 22. Colts, I think I'm going to keep the Colts at 21. All right. It kind of came against a win against a Dolphins team that didn't have their quarterback. They couldn't really get much offense going against them. Or for them, sorry. I know Jonathan Taylor's been out, but Anthony Richardson is looking less than phenomenal right now. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the Colts at 21. I think that's a pretty accurate spot for them right now. So 20, I'm going to go with the Rams. They did win this week against the Raiders. Should have Cooper Kupp back this week. I heard there's a shot that Puka might be back as well. I don't know how much I believe that or how much I would expect it. But Kupp should be back. That's going to give them a big offensive boost. So that'll be really good for them. Yeah, so 19, going to have the Cowboys here. They were on a bye. Not really a lot to say about them right there. 18, I'm going to go ahead and have... Let's see. I feel like it's wrong to not have the Cardinals move up at all this week. But, I mean, the Steelers won, the Seahawks won, the Broncos won, the Bengals won, The Eagles won. The Bears were on a bye. The Commanders won. And I'm not moving them up to top 10. So I guess we keep the Cardinals at 18. I don't think that's an awful spot for them. I think they've got a lot of potential, but they're not really putting that potential all together quite yet. So I'll go ahead and have them at 18. 17, I'm going to go ahead and have... Man, I don't want to have the Steelers this low either. It really sucks when all of these teams win and it makes the rankings that hard to put together. Tell you what, I'm going to pause the rankings right there. They're at 17. And I'm going to actually go back from the top down. Try and see if I can figure out a better order that way. So, I'm going to move the Vikings down to number 3 because they did end up losing to the Lions. It was a really tough fight, but again, it was a loss. They were in Minnesota too, so they even had home field advantage. So I'm going to have the Chiefs at 1. They're the only undefeated team left. Got the Lions at 2. I think that makes complete sense right there. And then the Vikings at 3. So I think that's a pretty solid top 3. Then we've got the Bills at 4. They destroyed the Titans. I think that makes a lot of sense there. I'm going to move the Ravens up to 5. They, for really a lot of the game, they were kind of destroying the Bucs. The Bucs kind of tried to crawl back a little bit towards the end there. Couldn't really pull it together. You could argue it was just kind of garbage time. I think that's probably more what it was. But the Ravens seem to be in complete control of that game. Derrick Henry is just having an absolute monster year. So yeah, got the Ravens there at number 5. Number 6, I also have the Packers moving up a spot from number 7. They beat the Texans on a game-winning field goal. So big game for the Packers there. They looked pretty solid. Jordan Love's got to cut back on the interceptions though. I will throw that out there. So number 7. So Brandon Ayuk is out for the year. So that's really tough. Doesn't sound like they're going to be getting Christian McCaffrey back this week. Deebo Samuel has a pneumonia issue going on right now. So really, like, their only real healthy receivers right now are Ricky Pearsall, and then honestly, I don't know the status of Juwan Jennings. I want to say he's supposed to be healthy, but I don't know for sure. I also don't know for sure if Deebo Samuel will be out this week, but I feel like for something like pneumonia, he'll probably be out for a little while. So, I am going to move the Niners down. I think I'm going to put them about somewhere in like this type of range. The Falcons also had a really, really bad loss to the Seahawks. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and move the Commanders up to number 7. I know it was the Panthers they beat, but they absolutely put a beating on them without Jaden Daniels. So I think that says a lot. Opened up the game with a pick 6. Got got another interception just in the first quarter. So defense really came to play. They made it so that Chuba Hubbard didn't have a crazy game. I was expecting him to have a really big day against the Commanders, so they shut that down. So yeah, I'm gonna have him at number 7. I mean, getting that big of a win without Jaden Daniels, I think that's pretty impressive. And I'm gonna throw this out. The Steelers have looked really impressive lately. I think I've been a little low on them lately, so I'm gonna put them at number 8. I'm gonna put them at number 8. I think they really, really have played well lately. And I'll be honest, I was not a fan of them benching Justin Fields. I The way I saw it was if it's not broken, don't fix it. I thought Fields deserved to keep that job, and Russell Wilson came in and absolutely cooked. He looked like the Russell Wilson we saw in Seattle. So, yeah, Steelers looking really good. Najee Harris also had a really good game too, with over 100 rushing yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, so big day for the Steelers. Number 9. I'm going to move the Eagles up to number 9. I think they looked really good against the Giants, absolutely blew them out. Saquon is looking like the number 2 running back in the league, only behind Derrick Henry. He's going off. The offense is looking completely changed, completely better with A.J. Brown back. He's been an absolute menace on that offense. So I think number 9's pretty deserving there. Number 10, I'm going to have the Texans. Sorry, it's not moving them in the right spot. Number 10, we got the Texans. That's down 5 spots from last week. I think for that close of a game against a team like the Packers, I can't really move them more than 5 spots. I think that's pretty fair. So, number 11, I'm going to put the 49ers. Yeah, just riddled with injuries all season. That's been the complete story for the Niners all season. So, number 12, I'm going to go ahead and move the Atlanta Falcons right there. Got blown out by the Seahawks. I don't know that I'd say that the Seahawks are still the overall better team, though. The Falcons have really pulled off some big wins. I know they're a little inconsistent, but I would say the Seahawks are too. So, I know I'm going to get comments saying, why are the Falcons higher than the Seahawks? They got blown out by them. Upsets like that happen all the time. Alright? I don't think the Seahawks are necessarily the better team than the Falcons. So, number 13, I'll go ahead and keep the Bears right there. They were on a bye. I think they're getting their offense going. Defense is still looking really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and keep them right there. 14, I know this is actually technically moving the Bengals down, but I still think the Bucks are a better team than the Bengals. And really, the Bengals did not blow out the Browns the way they should have. That should have been not even close. And they let the Browns stick around for a long time, especially considering the opening kickoff return touchdown that they had. They let the Browns stick around way too long, so I would definitely say the Bucks are the better team there. So, I think, honestly, with that in mind, I'm actually going to move the Broncos up to 15, the Seahawks up to 16, and the Bengals down to 17. I know you'll look at the win and be like, why are the Bengals moving down? It's because I was more impressed by the Seahawks wins and the Broncos wins. And, I mean, you look at it too. Like I said, the Bengals should have blown out the Browns. They didn't. They should have blown out the Giants. They didn't. It was 17-7 for that game. Yeah, they're getting wins, but that team is too inconsistent. I think we still have yet to see a really complimentary football game from them where both offense and defense is clicking. We've seen games where the offense has looked amazing and put up just crazy numbers, but the defense has been atrocious, and games where the offense hasn't looked real great, but the defense has kind of stuck around and, been solid. A little too inconsistent for me. So, got the Bengals there at 17. So, this is my complete power rankings for week 8. I know so many of you guys are rushing to the comments telling me how wrong I am about these. Guys, this is just my opinion, okay? I'm not an NFL analyst per se. I'm not an expert, just a fan like any other of you guys. So, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments saying how stupid this is, but just my opinion. So, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.